I remember the night the numbers matched. The ticket lay in my palm, trembling, while the television announcer repeated the sequence like a hymn. 42 million. Mine. But I didn't scream. I didn't call anyone. I didn't even smile. Instead, I folded the ticket neatly into my wallet and whispered to myself, "This is the moment everything changes." And it did. You'd think the first instinct would be joy. Mine was suspicion, because I knew exactly how my family operated. I had seen it too many times, how they measured love in dollars, how quickly affection turned sharp when you had nothing to give. So I kept silent. No champagne, no confessions, just patience. I needed to know who loved me for me and who loved me for what I could provide. The test was simple. I pretended to fall apart. I told them I lost my job. I hinted that my rent was late. I let my shoes scuff, my clothes wear thin. I played the role of the struggler, waiting for someone to extend a hand. Most didn't bother to hide their disdain. My mother sighed. "You've always been irresponsible." My father folded his paper, muttering, "You should have planned better." My sister laughed and said she couldn't fund my laziness. Each rejection carved into me, not because I needed their help, but because they revealed themselves so easily. But there was one, my cousin Daniel, quiet, unassuming, never the center of attention. When I mentioned my rent, he didn't lecture. He didn't judge. He just reached into his wallet and pressed a crumpled $200 into my palm. "Pay me back whenever you can," he said, his eyes steady, his tone casual. He didn't have much. He worked double shifts at the hospital, barely enough for himself. Yet he gave without hesitation. No strings, no performance, just kindness. That was the moment I decided. When the time came, Daniel would be the only one who knew the truth. Still, revenge had its place. I could have disappeared quietly, built a new life in silence, but that wasn't enough. They needed to see what they had lost. So I began building. Carefully, secretly. Investments, properties, a company formed under a trust. Layer by layer, I created an empire no one could trace to me. On paper, I was still broke. In reality, I was untouchable. Then I invited them all to dinner. The restaurant was expensive. White linen, crystal glasses, waiters gliding like shadows. My family sat stiffly, suspicion flickering as they glanced around at the luxury they knew I couldn't afford. My father leaned in. "So, you've been doing better." His voice carried that edge of curiosity sharpened by greed. I smiled. "Better than you think." That was my cue. I slid a small black folder onto the table. Inside, contracts, deeds, proof of the fortune they never imagined I controlled. My mother's breath caught. My sister's hand shot out, flipping through pages, eyes widening with every line. My father stared, jaw tight, nostrils flaring. Finally, my sister whispered, "All this time, you were rich?" I met her stare, calm. "All this time, I was testing you." The silence was heavier than the chandeliers above us. I let them squirm, let them feel the weight of their own words echoing back at them. The disdain, the dismissal, the casual cruelty when they thought I was nothing. Then I delivered the final blow. "Do you remember when I asked for help? Do you remember what you said? Every one of you turned your back, except Daniel." All heads swiveled to him. He looked down, embarrassed, but I kept my gaze steady. "He gave when he had nothing. You had plenty, and you chose to withhold. That's why tonight I'm cutting you off. Not a dollar, not a cent. Everything I own, every company, every property will pass through Daniel. He's my family. The rest of you, just strangers who share my blood." The color drained from their faces. My mother stammered, reaching across the table. My sister protested, tears brimming, already bargaining. My father slammed his fist, furious at the loss of control. But I just sat back, watching them unravel. Because this was never about the money. It was about truth. And truth, once revealed, is merciless. After dinner, I pulled Daniel aside, pressed a set of keys into his hand. A house, yours. No strings, just thank you. He shook his head, refusing at first, but I saw the tears he tried to hide. He understood what the others never would. That generosity is not measured in millions, but in moments when you have nothing and give anyway. That night, as I watched my family scatter into the dark, broken and desperate, I felt no guilt. I had given them a chance. They had revealed themselves. And now they had to live with the weight of their choices. After dinner, I pulled Daniel aside, pressed a set of keys into his hand. A house, yours. No strings, just thank you. He shook his head, refusing at first, but I saw the tears he tried to hide. He understood what the others never would. That generosity is not measured in millions, but in moments when you have nothing and give anyway. That night, as I watched my family scatter into the dark, broken and desperate, I felt no guilt. I had given them a chance. They had revealed themselves, and now they had to live with the weight of their choices.